Yep, to the yep. You already know what time it is. It's your girl, P.O.C, and I'm back in the city of Philadelphia talking gun violence in town halls. In light of the most recent shootings, several town hall meetings have been organized as a response. However, given the differences of frustrations, ideas, and personal emotions held by residents of Philadelphia, it can be challenging to ensure that meetings are productive and effective. So I hit the streets of Philadelphia to ask city officials what are some strategies that we can implement to make sure voices are heard and progress is actually being made. Check out what some of city officials had to say.
City Council President Kenyatta Johnson, I think it's always great that when we have town hall meetings around addressing the issue of gun violence, it's great when the community come together and most importantly provide strategies and solutions on how we can work together to address this issue. This issue didn't happen overnight, we're not going to solve it overnight, but when you see people coming out from the neighborhood to participate in these town halls, it shows that we care, because at the end of the day, if we're not all coming together to address this issue, we're never going to solve it. And so, for me, I think this is very, very productive. We got to keep it going. I think you have a lot of people that have a lot of great ideas. Most importantly, they're excited about working together and addressing this issue. And that's what this night is all about.
Yeah, I think here's how I look at it. I think the first part is you come in and let people some people want to blow off their steam, right? I think that's the natural course in their first meetings. But I think what has to happen after that, you have to now come into those secondary meetings, have to be much more prescriptive. I think you have to break them down into smaller groups, have really, really good agendas and really good feedback loops, so you can have the continuum. You know what I mean? And I think that's where the real work starts, right? And so it has to. These are always the first part, but there's always got to come in with a second part, and everybody's got to walk away with what's the next step. You know, and so I think that's the most effective way to do it.
So do you think like they can stay productive given the amount of emotions that people are showing throughout the conversation?
Because I think you like to have the emotion first. That's how it normally is, right? People come in because they come in here with the emotion, but I think you then have to have the other steps already lined up. Everybody here should sign up. You know what I mean? Everybody should have their emails, you know, and then you keep people going, keep them engaged. You know, I think it's got to go beyond just the energy of the room as you saw tonight, right? People are going to be, you know, angry and heated, and everybody wants to talk about their program, but then you got to start to move to that synergy and really, really start to get people focused.
Thank you. Can you just introduce yourself for the folks?
I am Police Commissioner Kevin Bell.
Senator Sharif Street. Look, I think we can make town hall meetings effective by keeping the subject matter somewhat narrow, because there's so many different topics, and we're going to have more of them. So, for instance, today, the focus was on youth violence. We're able to get out information on that. Had we talked about everything, it would have been sort of chaotic. We probably need to go back, talk about schools. Another time, talk about recruiting police. There are lots of different topics. I think if you keep it narrow, you can have a more structured, productive meeting. It's too broad. People are going to get frustrated because people have so many different things they want to hear about.
So I'm Jeffrey Young, council member for the 5th Council District. Because emotions run high, because all communities have been affected by gun violence, when we try to have these town halls, we want to get ideas and solutions from community members. However, because they don't have too many outlets to let go of their frustration, some of these meetings sometimes get off track and off task. So, you know, I want to be able to provide more opportunities for the community to express themselves to the elected representatives. So one thing that I want to do is hold more town halls on different topics. So when we do have a town hall, we can stay on topic for one that we're having there.
Hey, good evening. I'm Councilmember Isaiah Thomas, council member at large and majority whip of City Council. To answer your question, I think that conversations like this are important for a lot of reasons. Number one, sometimes people just want to vent. They just want people to hear them out. They want to know that their government cares. The second thing is, far too often people don't know what's going on with their government. So this gives us an opportunity to explain what we're doing and get people to understand what resources are available. You also have things that we're not doing, right? Like that's an important part of the conversation as well too, because we do have shortcomings and we need to be honest and transparent about the shortcomings that government has. Last but not least, I think it's important that we not just leave with tangible outcomes, but being able to connect with people as well too. I met so many great young people here tonight who are really trying to make a difference in their community and having access to their elected officials. I know that I can empower them and provide them with more resources to be able to do the work that they want to do. There were a number of great ideas that came out tonight, but I think more than the ideas, people just wanted to vent. They want an opportunity to grab the mic and be able to talk about what they've been through, what they see in their neighborhood, and in some cases, what they think government should do. I thought the questions were extremely great, and I thought that we said a number of things that people never heard of that was kind of surprising. So for me, one of my takeaways is not just about the gun violence and what do we do around issues around SEPTA in schools, but also how do we get these resources in people's houses, on people's kitchen table, and get the people who need them the most to take advantage of it. I think that's my homework going away from this today, more than just the gun violence component. Clearly that's going to be the big topic of discussion, especially involving young people. But it seemed like every time I list the resource, nobody knew what I was talking about. There was this look of awe like, oh, I didn't know the city did that. I didn't know that exists. I didn't know that was the actual thing. So that's my takeaway. And I do think that conversations like these are productive, especially when you have the attendance that we have and the government folks that were here.
You missed this morning's episode of Revive Radio? Well, guess what? You can catch that playback on YouTube. All you have to do is go to Revive_POC on YouTube to find more information.